Hey guys, I am here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and I didn't check in as soon as I got here because things were still going kind of nuts. So the bill passed the House and the Senate easily in both. I think in the Senate it was 92 to 6, and I forget what it was in the House. It was like it was like 200 something against 50. It was a blowout both ways, not even close. And thank God Tulsi Gabbard voted against this. She was one of two Democrats. It was Rashida Tlaib and Tulsi Gabbard both voted against this. Justin Amash voted against this, and then some of the Republicans voted against it. And then in the Senate, Rand Paul obviously voted against it, and then Mike Lee, Ted Cruz, and a few other people. But you guys should be freaking out about this. I'm just going to read some of the figures that I found out about this bill. So in domestic funding, the Kennedy Center got $26,400,000. Smithsonian got $1 billion. The National Art Gallery got $150 million. National Arts and Humanities got $167 million, and the Wilson Center got $14 million. This is foreign countries, so this is money that was literally sent to foreign countries. Egypt got $1.3 billion. Sudan got $700 million. Ukraine, $453 million. Israel, $500 million. Nepal, $130 million. Burma, $135 million. Cambodia, $85 million. Pakistan, $25 million. Asia RIA got $1.4 billion. So, we are in the middle of a pandemic where people have lost their jobs, they can't pay their rent, and the government is coming in to save us with a $2.5 trillion omnibus bill, and $120 billion is direct cash payments. This should have been the most obvious no vote in history. The CARES Act was disguised a little bit better, and we were all freaking out because the coronavirus was brand new. No one was paying attention. Everyone was locked down. This is out in the open. It's super obvious. And like I said, Rashida Tlaib and Tulsi Gabbard were the only two Democrats in the House to vote against it. AOC grandstanded about how horrible it was that they were only giving them several hours to read it, and then she fucking voted for it. Ilhan Omar voted for it. Bernie Sanders voted for this. This is fucking bullshit. All these hundreds of millions of dollars going to foreign countries, while we've been paying taxes all year long. This is theft. This is why libertarians say taxation is theft, because we might not like what the government does with the money it stole from us. That's the whole point. Like, if they steal it from us, we lose our say in what happens. Like, if you think that you're sending your representatives to fight for you, unless you live in Hawaii or Utah or Kentucky or Florida or Michigan. There's a few states where your representatives do care about you a little bit, but for the most part, they don't. If you live in Vermont, you're fucked. Half of Utah, my Senator Mike Lee, he voted against this. I thank you, Mike Lee. Fuck you, Mitt Romney. He voted for this. This is absolutely insane. The second largest spending bill in history, and it's at a time where we are in an economic crisis, and a lot of people aren't taking the economic crisis as seriously as they should. things are fucked. Like, we're not just hurting because of the coronavirus. This year, the Federal Reserve has been monetizing our debt. And for those of you who don't know what that means, mostly, the way it usually works is when we go into debt, we borrow money. And the way we borrow money is other countries or businesses in the United States or whatever entity will buy a bond. And then the bond will mature over several years. And then the government pays the person or pays the entity back. So no one was buying bonds this year so that we could borrow money. So guess who bought all the bonds? The Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve bought all the bonds, and they bought more bonds this year than they have combined in history. So they buy the bonds and then they print money off to finance them. So all this debt we're going into is, the money we're getting for it is fake. And we're about to add $2.5 trillion onto that, on top of the $7 trillion that we've already monetized this year. Yes, I am on the road. There's no way out of this. We're not correcting our course. We're just hammering on the throttle straight toward a brick wall, and we're not doing anything to change course. I think worrying about the debt at this point is kind of outdated because we're not paying the debt back anymore. That should be extremely obvious. It's up to like $900,000 per citizen right now. There is absolutely no way that's getting paid back. It's how are we going to default? And at this point, it looks like we're going to default through inflation. We're just going to destroy the dollar by printing. But either way, we're fucked. Either way, the dollar loses its value. Either way, I don't think we'll be the world reserve currency too much longer. I'll be surprised if we're still the world reserve currency by the time the next president gets elected. I think that the dollar might hit an all-time low next year. It's reaching its 2008 low right now, and it could go below. I think 1970 something was when it hit its all-time low before. We could go past that next year. But we live in a country full of economically ignorant idiots who think that we can just print money to get out of our problems, and we can't. You could make an argument for that if we were our own country, not trading with the world. If the entire world didn't use the dollar as the reserve currency, you might have an argument, but that's not how it works. The rest of the world has repercussions from our monetary policy, so they will get sick of us eventually. This is trash. We should throw... I think it was treason for everybody who voted for this bill. We honestly ought to throw them all in Guantanamo Bay. I'm not even kidding. Like, this is so bad. This was the most obvious no vote that any representative or senator could have had in history. This is so obvious. This is more obvious than the weapons of mass destruction. It's just blatant, in-your-face stupidity. You're robbing from the poor to feed the rich and to feed the rich in other fucking countries, not even just in this country. You guys should be irate. And I don't even know what comes after this. I don't know. I wish we could tar and feather them all too. I agree with you. I don't know what is the next immediate step. I don't know if people are just going to keep taking it. I think they are, because nobody seems to have any clue what the fuck is going on. Nobody knows what's in these bills. Nobody even knows that Congress is voting on it. It's Christmas week. Like, that's so fitting. They do this during Christmas week when we're all thinking about the holidays, when politics isn't on our mind, and they just ram this fucking thing through, 5,000 pages long, $2.5 trillion, most of it going out of the country. And if it's not going out of the country, it's not going to us. As I said, I'm not even getting a stimulus bill because I made too much money last year. They don't take 2020 into effect, it's just 2019. So I won't even get a $600 check, and $600, that's half a week's pay. So what the fuck does that do for us? We've sold our country out for half a week's pay. It's fucking disgraceful, and I honestly think everyone who voted for this ought to be thrown in Gitmo. But it's about all I got to say. If your representative voted for this, make sure you vote for somebody else the next election. Do not put whoever voted for this back in office. They don't deserve it. They're traitors. The only thing that's making me happy about this is seeing, Tulsi Gabbard vote against this, because she's weak. This is her weakest area. Like, she's not good on voting against a bill because it's crap if it has something in it for the people. And I do believe she is a pure-hearted person, and that's why she has trouble with this. But thank God she realized that this did not help anybody. All I'm saying is it's time for something big to happen or change. I agree. And if it's not peaceful sooner, it's going to be violent later. So I am all for peaceful change. So let's work on that now. The best thing you guys can do is just educate your friends about this. Just look this bill up online. Look at who voted for it. Look at what's in it, and just tell your family and friends. Make them aware of who the people that they voted for, what they voted for. Talk to your Trump friends. This is Trump's America that's voting for this. We're worried about the Democrats taking over because the spending is going to be out of control and they're going to take our freedoms away. What the fuck do you think this bill is? That's exactly what it does. It does both of those things. I don't know. While this vote was happening, I was in a tractor trailer in the middle of Wyoming. There's only so much I can do. I've got you guys who follow me on YouTube. I got a couple thousand subscribers. Got like 1,500 followers on Twitter. By the way, Tulsi Gabbard followed me today. That was kind of cool. But I can only do so much. So I need your help. I need you guys to get out there and educate your friends and family as to what's going on, because I'm just one guy and I'm a truck driver. I've said this on Twitter. This is the first time I'll say it on YouTube. I think I might run for office sometime in the next several years, just because things are so bad. And I don't necessarily think I'm the guy to do it, but no one else is doing anything, so stay tuned for that. That's definitely not imminent, but I am starting to consider that for the long-term future. But like I said, tell your family, tell your friends, look at this bill, look at who voted for it. I'll put a link in the description after this uploads to the roll call and to a description of the bill, so you guys can share this with your friends and family, because this should disgust you more than anything else that's happened this year. This is worse than the CARES Act, even though it's not quite as much money. It sends things to foreign countries, and it's when we're not in shock from going through, we're not in shock from entering the coronavirus. This should have been a time where people were more alert and aware of what's going on. But that's my rant. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. As I've always said, it's more obvious than ever right now that the government is not going to take care of you. Also, please stop pushing for Medicare for all under this government, because that's super cringy. Because if it took them $900 billion to pay us $120 billion, if you really think that they're going to somehow save us money by socializing the cost of healthcare in college, you're not paying attention very well. That's not going to happen. So I'm going to check out. I'll catch you guys later. If I don't see you before the holiday, Merry Christmas. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves.